Welcome to today's class. Today we will be discussing a topic which is perspectives in psychology. In the previous class we have already talked about the various approaches in the psychology, how psychology has evolved over the years and the difference of pseudopsychology and psychology. In today's class what we will be talking about is perspectives in psychology. To start with, I have a animation here which shows a huge lot of ocean body and a boat which is amidst that ocean. Now consider you are in this boat, in this ocean. What would be your reaction to it, or what would be your perspective towards everything around you? Now you might say, I am stuck up alone in this huge vast ocean. Okay, there can be a friend of yours who can say, the life looks so peaceful around here. Okay, there can be another person who might comment on the vastness of the ocean. Okay, there can be another of your friend who can say the life looks very monotonous, very dull, very lonely out here. Okay, so there can be various perspectives to explain your feelings or explain yourselves when you are amidst such a situation. So that is what is perspectives. Similarly, in psychology, when we try to understand various perspectives, we have various opinions out there which shows how things vary from one thing to another. So when we talk about perspectives, we broadly classify perspectives in psychology under three divisions. I call it as biological perspective, psychological perspective, and socio-cultural perspective. Now let's understand these one by one. Biological perspective is a perspective where I am trying to say that behavior is governed by my neural anatomy, my brain structure, all my thinking and emotions are governed by the biological set of instructions in my mind. Under psychological perspective, I say human behavior is governed by thoughts, actions. You have various types of kind of understanding which governs your psychological perspective in psychology. And then finally you have the socio-cultural approach where I try to explain that there is element of society and culture which influence your behavior. So for this I can explain that you have, consider this as yourselves. Okay. This as a part of culture and this as a part of society. Okay. So your interaction with society and culture will lead to a socio-cultural approach. Okay. So whenever I talk about socio-cultural approach, I try to explain the things based on two major phenomena. First is cultural relativity. What does cultural relativity means? I am trying to judge my culture or my values in relation to the culture of the society I am living in. For example, if I am living in a society which follows the festival of Christmas, okay? So when I am into that culture, my behavior would be governed or my values would be governed relative to the society, relative to the culture of the society or my nearbys. Okay, and then you have another term that is social norms. Social norms are a set of rules or regulations that are made by the society, and all the persons who are in that particular society are ought to follow those norms. So these two things definitely influence the socio-cultural perspective in psychology, and as I mentioned, it is an interaction of society and culture with an individual. Now when I talk about biological perspective, I can classify this perspective into two broad classifications. First is the evolutionary approach and second is the bio-psychological approach. Now what's the difference between these two approaches? When I talk about evolutionary approach, I mean to say how our behavior has evolved over the years. Okay, under evolutionary approach which deals with anthropology, we talk about how human beings have evolved over the years, but under a psychological evolutionary perspective, we say how human behavior has evolved. So we focus on how behavior has evolved over the years. Okay? And under biopsychological approach, we include two major things, that is our behavior in relation to the biology, or I could say the chemistry of human beings. Okay, so I can say effect of brain, effect of neural anatomy, effect of our nervous system, sympathetic and parasympathetic systems on the behavior. So that is what is the biopsychological approach. Now, the most important is the psychological approach. So when we talk about psychological approach, we are basically concerned with thoughts, emotions, feelings, and ultimately all these affect our behavior. So when these components affect our behavior, under psychological approach, we have four basic criteria in which we can explain the origin of psychology. Okay. So the four approaches here are: first is the cognitive approach. Now what is cognitive approach? The word cognitive itself means understanding. Now this approach is highly objective in nature. Okay. Objective in nature means this can be reasoned, this can be questioned, because whatever perspective I am trying to put forward is based on my understanding towards something. Okay. So that is what is the cognitive approach, or the very primary approach, and I can say this works simply as a computer system works. So you have an input that goes into your mind, you have a processing that is done through your brain, and finally there is an output that is revealed. Similar to a computing system, you have an input processing unit and an output unit that comes out. So that is what is the cognitive perspective. The next perspective under psychological approach that we talk about is behavioral perspective. Behavioral perspective is one where I am trying to say that a particular stimuli is leading to a particular response. So you have a stimuli leading to a response. That is a kind of behavior. Now under behavioral psychology, we will say all the experiments in conditioning, be it classical conditioning, operant conditioning, then the concepts of reinforcement would all be covered under behavioral perspective. So you have a relationship which talks about stimulus and response, and how a particular stimulus is leading to a particular response. For example, I am walking on my way, suddenly a dog comes out barking. So what would be my response to it would be considered under behavioral perspective. Okay, and what will I do would be considered under cognitive. There can be a process where I would think that my elders have told me when there is a dog barking on the street, you should stand still. Okay, and then I would think that I should stand still, and I stand there. So that's a kind of cognitive where I'm trying to understand the consequences of running out. And in the other case, you are talking about behavioral experiences, which talks about a sudden response to a stimulus that has been received. Okay. The next approach here is psychodynamic approach. Now what is psychodynamic approach? Psychodynamic approach was basically propounded as behavior that is caused due to hidden forces or unconscious reasons. So forces that are hidden or unconscious in nature leads to an approach which is known as psychodynamic approach. And the last approach that we will be discussing today is humanistic approach. Now under psychological perspective itself, we have talked about cognitive approach, which is highly objective in nature, and humanistic approach, which is highly subjective in nature. Okay, so here lies the various contradictories within the perspectives, where we are saying we are talking about psychological perspectives only, but there is one approach which talks about objective thinking and objective process. There is another approach which is humanistic in nature and which talks about subjective behavior. And when we talk about specifically about humanistic approach, we say there is a subjective perception that comes around with a humanistic approach, and I can easily depict it by means of diagram where I say this is my self. Okay, so I can say this is my self. This is my self-image that I am trying to portray out, and this is the self-evaluation that I am trying to do and understand this concept of humanistic perspective. Okay, so these are the broad perspectives in psychology that we have discussed today. Now, when we talk about perspectives in psychology, there are three things that mainly we try to understand. First is the contradictory approaches. So, for example, I can say this approach talks about objectivity and this approach is highly focused on subjectivity. Okay. Similarly, there is another perspective I should say, which is nature-nurture controversy, where nature talks about biological and nurture talks about environmental. So, that's again a kind of contradictory approach. Okay. There can be approaches which depend on one another. So I can say there is an approach which depends on one another. That means I have a biological approach and an approach which is talking about health. Okay, so health is dependent on biological processes, I can say. Okay, so I can again say one approach is dependent on another. Let me remove this. So you have the approaches can be, the classification of approaches we have already covered. Okay. Now we'll see what are the various kinds of methods by which we can follow some of the other approaches. So first, as we talked about, is the contradictory nature. So you have approach which is focusing on objective parameters and another approach that is focusing on subjective parameters. Then another good example of contradictory approach is nature-nurture controversy. The second is one depends on another. So when I say one depends on another, you have biological perspective and health perspective. So one is dependent on the another, and finally you have overlapping approaches. So overlapping approaches means you have psychoanalysis and child psychology. So I can say child psychology is covered under psychoanalysis, or while I am talking about psychoanalysis, I am focusing on the hidden desires of my childhood. Okay, so these are kind of overlapping branches. So these three are the main ways in which I can say one perspective is linked to another perspective. Now, in the final topic that we would be discussing today is the timeline or the evolutionary pattern of various perspectives and approaches. Now, when I am talking about timeline, I would be talking about both perspectives and approaches. We have already covered approaches in the previous classes. So in this class, we will talk about both approaches and perspectives in psychology on a timeline. Okay. So I'll start with the first timeline here. So you have 1895. Around this time, you had various schools in psychology or approaches in psychology that evolved. Those were structuralism. We have already talked about these in the previous classes. This class is just to explain how various concepts evolved in psychology, and finally you have psychoanalysis. So these were the very fundamental or the initial things that came up in psychology. Then you have around 1915 the stream of behaviorism or behavioral psychology or behavioristic perspective in psychology started to evolve. You have around 1935 you have Gestalt psychology. The various approaches in psychology. So Gestalt psychology talks about wholeness of behavior, or I could say the completeness, rather than focusing on the individual parts, it talks about completeness in the behavior. Then you have the next approach around 1955. You have the cognitive approach, you have the humanistic approach, you have the psychodynamic approach, you have the biopsychological approach. So all the perspectives that we have talked about today under psychological perspective and one under biological perspective started around 1955. Then this biological perspective was still in a niche phase. Okay, so around 1975 there was evolutionary perspective that tried to gain momentum, and finally around 1995, a very recent setup, you have the cultural perspective or the socio-cultural perspective that started to originate. So based on this we can say the initial ones talked about the various approaches in psychology. Then you have the various elements here where we talk about firstly the psychological perspective and the start of biological perspective. Then around 1975 we have the evolutionary perspective, and finally the cultural perspective, which is a part of socio-cultural perspective. So with this we understand how the various approaches and perspectives evolved in psychology. In the next class, following class, we would be talking about the various branches of psychology and how psychologists or the psychology professionals are involved in various branches of psychology. Till then, have a good day ahead.